Well, that was the thing. So, here's a weird bit of 2 episodes to talk about. The Dueling Monkey and Trial by Red Eyes. Or, and I will admit I prefer these titles, or if you prefer, The Power of Friendship, Lava Battle Guard and Swamp Battle Guard, and Black Flame, Red Eyes Black Dragon. So, yeah, I decided to put these together, which is funny because if I didn't, I would have made myself a liar last week. Because I kind of said one of Joey's most iconic monsters was showing up, ah, although not in his possession this week. Yeah, that's in the second part. I mean, okay, technically it shows up in silhouette at the end of part 1, but yeah. Also, this isn't technically a two-parter, but it just flows kind of naturally. Which is funny because, like, about half of the part 2 is like, and we're just gonna set things up for, like, the next 3 episodes. No, seriously. The entire like second half of Trial by Red Eyes is all set up for for part for frickin' for the next few episodes. Uh yeah. Before I get started, so let's begin. Uh so we basically start off with them looking for Mokuba and realizing, oh, we're just going to need to get into Pegasus's castle. Yeah, that was a good, solid, like, 2 minutes wasting. I mean, okay, I get the point. It's so that they can discover that that Tristan, or Honda, if you prefer, actually bought himself some Duel Monster cards. Okay, I'm gonna say something it's going to sound like an insult, and it is. What the fuck is the point of that? No, seriously, what the fuck is the point of that? In fact, while I'm on the subject already, yeah, what the fuck is the point of the melodrama in this episode? In both languages? Cause seriously, cause here's the thing. What Joey isn't getting is that Tristan's got his back. Except and so he's kind of pissy that Joey and Janochi are both kind of missing that point. Except that's not the point of this. The point is not his friendship with Tristan needing to be fucking tested. Because Maya's conditions are no advice from the peanut gallery. Now, obviously, in the Japanese version, that it at least kind of makes it make a little more sense. But that was aimed at frickin' Yugi. Like, the dub even admits this full tilt. No, that's meant from frickin' Yugi. Because remember, it was Yugi's advice that led to the frickin' time warp last time. Like, for God's sakes, that wasn't even that long ago. That was actually at the beginning of the previous string of episodes. Like, like his first duel, and gorgeous harpy lady basically was, here, let's have Yugi frickin' coach Joey through it. And this one was, I want to win this on my own so that I can prove that I'm a good big brother. So why does that has to translate into bad friend with Honda? Like, I'm sorry, this is so stupid. Because you know what I would have done? Instead of the stupid, I'm going to borrow this. Well, fine, I'll loan it to you, and blah, blah. Instead of the stupid comedy leading to melodrama bull crap, I'm going to keep calling it that because it is bull crap in both versions, in my opinion. I mean, notice how I was using the Japanese dialogue for that, by the way. Like, There is no point. Which, honestly, which is almost funny because this is also the first episode in which they stopped having Sam Riegel. I'm probably butchering the poor guy's name, and I don't mean to because I have a lot of respect for Sam Riegel. Because he voices a lot of my favorite characters throughout the entirety of, well, pretty much everything. I mean, it's no secret that one of my top favorite characters is in Fire Emblem Awakening, which, give me a second, I have it right here. Let's see, is he my... I forget if he's actually at the top. I don't think he is. Give me one moment, because I gotta flip back through all of my rough notes for whatchamacallit, and some stuff that I won't mention. Second favorite. So, it's not a coincidence that this voice actor actually voices my second favorite one. But I guess because of they were kind of not wanting Rex and Tristan to both be voiced by the same voice actor, so they changed it. Greg Abbey is, if I'm not mistaken, let me just double check my wiki findings here. Yeah. It's Sam Riegel for the first 10 episodes, and then it's Greg Abbey for the rest, which I find hilarious because his voice gives him super strength. If you're wondering why Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged made that joke, the joke is that the dub actually cast Greg Abbey as Tristan past episode 10. From episode 11 and onwards, Greg Abbey voices Tristan. Now, the reason why that's funny is Greg Abbey would go on to voice Yusei in the dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. And Yusei actually does, like, practically, no, literally, a frickin' Shoryuken against some goons. And I think that's even in the frickin' dub, but I could be wrong about that. It's been a while since I've watched the 5Ds dub. For incredibly obvious reasons. And no, not because of the sub. It's actually because I've had no real access or time to really sit down and watch it. In my defense, 100 and something episodes is usually the standard. Like 100, usually around 140 is like the standard length of a Yu-Gi-Oh series. Which, even if you chop a bunch of those out, is still like it's usually over 100, even in the dub. So yeah. So, but Joey does have a point, and I don't want to sound like I'm basically. I know I seem like I'm completely on Joey's side here, but, well, actually, that's because I actually am. This is fucking stupid. Now, obviously, the idea, if I'm going to actually be a copycat lore runner, is I should not criticize without critiquing. Which I may be butchering that horribly, and if I am, I apologize. But no, my point is that I should offer a solution. Okay, no, no advice from the peanut gallery. Okay, but I'm still going to be there for my best friend. Pull out Lava Battle Guard, hand it to Joey, and say, "Here, use this. I'm pretty sure there's a card like that in your deck." Nick, Joey double checks. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, thanks. Cool. And then he goes off and does it. The power of friendship, which then Joey demonstrates when Swamp and Lava Battle Guard show up on the field. Done. Melodrama told to fuck off. Melodrama discarded, and something cool is actually in its place. None of this stupid, let's get mad at Yugi for no fucking reason because he wants to actually humor Joey on this one. Dumb AF. Moving on. Ugh. But anyways, Mai has made her deal with Rex that she'll duel him if he curb stomps Joey. Okay. I mean, in the Japanese version, it makes a little more sense because it's "be my servant," and it's like, I mean, okay. To be fair, he's doing this so Rex is doing this so he can duel Mai. So I can't really call him a simp here. I do think the whole what are you getting out of the deal? It's a secret anger thing is just whatever. But yeah, and the lame. By the way, the lame jokes against Joey are even in the fucking sub. Lest you think I'm basically bitching out just the dub. No, it's not. Which is funny because the sub also doesn't have Joey punching Tristan, which is also what happens. Which is still fucking dumb, but whatever. I'm just gonna move on. So then Joey makes a really stupid opening play by putting out Time Wizard right in the first turn, instead of, having some monsters on field. No, you place Time Wizard down, then you put a decoy, and then you do your combo. But whatever. Also, Anzu is just like, what the hell, Joey? You're dueling horribly, blah 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 blah. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, Anzu. Okay, like no, I should correct myself. Episode. Fuck off with the insulting of Joey. It's not funny. It's not engaging. It's boring time filler. I literally said my solution literally would literally shave off like 4 minutes of this goddamn episode. You could potentially even just freaking make it so that the entirety of this duel is in one episode. And then just basically make the thing. I know they wanted to set things up, but hell, you could have even gone more in depth into Mai's backstory. It sure probably would have been censored to the point where we would have been missing an episode out of the dub. Not that that hasn't happened before. Sailor Moon coming to mind immediately. But I don't know. It just bugs me because it just feels like time filler. And I do mean that in the insulting way, as in time padding. Because we will get filler in this series, and we will get very, very good filler in this series. The virtual world arc coming to mind immediately when I say that. Actually, while we're on the subject, the other virtual arc, which is the game, the 3-parter where they go into that RPG. That's another good bit of filler. Although we are dealing with Rebecca and Dungeon Dice Monsters, which the more I think about it, I kind of wonder if the way I think about it is actually going to have that be a rant view, but we'll see. I mean, I went in. All I have to do is just flip a page back. I can show you my notes from the last episode to remind you of how the frickin' sub surprised the shit out of me, because I was ready to bash. I was ready to bash Blue Eyes White Dragon's counterattack last week, but well, then it actually was good, and I was surprised. So, I mean, I stand behind my preference of preferring that episode in the dub, but at the same time, I actually don't mind that too much. I still stand behind my statement. It's just, Also, when Serpent Knight Dragon comes out after Flame Swordsman's fire attribute apparently beats Dinos, which, in my opinion, makes no sense. Ice attribute should actually be what does that. Like, whatever. Anyways, anyways, so yeah, in the sub, Rex mentions that Joey will never own Serpent Knight Dragon. Considering that Serpent Knight Dragon is going to be power crept, and I looked this up, by 50 attack points in the very next episode. Yeah, Joey's not missing much, especially when, spoiler alert, he gets that in the second episode. Moving on. So then Swamp and Lava Battle Guards start, showing off their chops. That's because they power each other up, and it's cool, and it's awesome, and yeah. Gee, it's almost as if you could have just done the entire theme of this episode without pulling the stupid fucking Joey and Tristan are fucking morons thing. Look, I get that they're in high school, and I get that this is a thing, but for God's sakes, I am just so fucking sick of seeing it. Especially in anime. I mean, how many anime can you name off the top of your head where high school students are brain dead morons like this? You know? And it even shows in the freaking flashback, because it's like, oh, you shouldn't have fought us alone. And then Tristan shows up and is like, hey, why did you call me? And it's like, yeah, why didn't you? Go with back up. To quote Sun Wukong, you should always get friends involved. Actually, let me walk that back. Let me paraphrase Sun Wukong from Rooster Teeth Ruby and say, you should always get friends involved when you know that they are capable of having your back. And you know for a fact, Joey, that Tristan has your back. Wake the fuck up. Wow, I am being vulgar in this episode, in this video. Jesus. Oh my god. God. So yeah, I don't prefer either of part one. I don't prefer either Dueling Monkey or Power of Friendship because, in my opinion, both of those both versions are just fucking lame. In my opinion, it's like it. I gotta be honest with you. This is the kind of episode I would kind of skip through. You know, I'd almost be tempted to just say, I'll go with the frickin' Dub's previously on Yu-Gi-Oh segment, and let that be the entirety of what I watch from this. Or if I'm watching the sub, the entire pre-title card segment, which is basically the previously on Yu-Gi-Oh thing. So then part 2 happens, and and pretty quickly Red Eyes shows up. They even say it in the dub, 2 turns. Because Rex is like, who said Serpent Knight Dragon that Joey blasted 2 turns ago was my best card? So then he uses Red Eyes with Dragon Nails, which beefs him up. And this is where we gotta talk about Red Eyes Black Dragon, who weirdly sounds like a bird in the dub. It's gonna be a consistent thing, and I'm just kind of looking at that going, huh? I mean, I guess birds can be kind of cousins to dragons, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe this is oh shit, I cannot remember the name of that thing to save my life. Give me a second. There's a Pokemon. I'll just go ahead and spoil that part. There is a Pokemon I want to talk about out here. Archeops. That's him, yep. There's also Archeops from Pokemon. But anyways, point is, there's Archeops, which kind of looks kind of looks similar to a dragon. Not exactly, but I mean, you can kind of see some of the similarities. But this is where we have to talk about a long-standing, mostly unspoken theme when it comes to both Red Eyes and Blue Eyes. See, back in the Toei in season 0 movie, the Toei anime's movie, yeah, movie is quote unquote because it's like a half an hour runtime. But anyways, point is, in the Yu-Gi-Oh movie, which most people just either call the Toei movie or or the season 0 movie. It was basically they started a trend of Red Eyes Black Dragon representing, while the Blue Eyes White Dragon would bring you victory, Red Eyes Black Dragon would bring the potential for victory. In other words, the idea being Red Eyes representing potential and Blue Eyes representing power. Because, I mean, it's not like we haven't seen Red Eyes win, and it's not like we haven't seen Blue Eyes lose. Because, yeah, Blue Eyes loses all the goddamn time. Usually to bullcrap. That much I'm willing to admit. But, speaking as somebody who kind of sort of plays Blue Eyes himself, yeah, Blue Eyes is not the invincible engine of destruction. He's virtually invincible, but he's not actually invincible. There's way more monsters that can actually claim that. And of course, it's actually shown in the lore and in like in the card artworks and in, well, really the release of the cards actually, because Red Eye's got a lot more support and it tends to pair with other stuff a lot better. I mean, for God's sakes, there is a card that a lot of people want banned because of how frickin' overpowered it is, and that's when Red Eyes fuses with Dark Magician to become Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. And yeah, I concur, that thing is a D-bag, but then again, most Dark Magician most Dark Magician fusions that have protection built into them are kind of can be kind of douchebags, especially if you combo them right. Oh, hi, Dark Paladin and Dark Magician of the Dragon Knight. While we're on the subject. So Rex is so confident that Red Eyes will get him the victory, so he makes a bet. All right, rare card. We'll put up a rare card. We'll put up the ones that are on the field. I put up Red Eyes. You put up Time Wizard. Then Joey gets the idea to use Time Wizard and wins Red Eyes. Because of course it is. This is also where Joey's gambler style got started, by the way, right here with this episode. Yeah. So then so then they end up in the woods. It's in nightfall comes, and so they end up starting to make camp. Mike shows up and is after Joey tries to eat a poisonous mushroom because comedy, and basically offers them food. But there's going to be some chores. Yugi is apparently supposed to be for cooking, even though Joey kind of takes that up. Oh, okay. I mean, okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. But anyways, so yeah, in the dub, the chores are Yugi go get firewood. Joey and Tristan are gonna go get water, which is basically the same thing, and then Joey ends up cooking. But instead of giving Anzu, giving Taya chores, she offers a shower. Because there's apparently makeshift showers all over. That actually makes a degree of sense to me. As weird as that sounds. I mean, I know it's only 2 days, but I don't know. I mean, granted, I would actually, I would hope more people would just be like, well, here, let's go ahead and, offer, showers on the boat. But what the hell do I know? So then Mai talks about her backstory, about how she used to basically work in a casino. Gee, I sure hope some asshole big shot dipshit doesn't force Mai into a duel that's going to be copied in the worst fucking possible way in GX. Anyways, but yeah, no, she worked on a cruise ship, and yeah, she kind of just got sick of people. I can relate, although in a lesser way. She grew to not like people through, a casino ship. Have grown to not like people by working retail. I will let you decide which one is actually more hell, because I have never worked on a cruise ship, so I can't really be the judge of that. Although, to be fair, I deal with Karens on a more regular basis. He says, Mai would have to deal with more pervs and douchebags on the cruise ship, because it's a cruise ship. And me, I have to deal with the common folk, which just means it's just like, yeah, I have to deal with some imbeciles in my line of work. Oh, I skipped over some of my notes about Rex in the sub. I guess I just didn't really care. He insults the power of friendship because it gets blasted. There is one other thing, though, just to go back to Rex for a minute, because I forgot this point. What is with Rex not showing up for the rest of this? Like, we will never see Rex we won't see Rex again until season 2. Did he just get eliminated by one of the eliminators? Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, back to Mai. So yeah, Mai kind of has a decent backstory that the dub completely scrubbed out. I mean, it would have been nice to know, but at the same time, I don't think it really adds anything. I mean, we're gonna see Mai duel. Okay, if you count filler crap, yep, before before the big thing that pisses me right the fuck off, we are going to see her duel 4 more times. 2 of those are going to be filler. Yeah. Oh, and then the rest of her duels in the entire rest of the series, all 2 more of them, are also going to be filler. And are also going to piss me off. Because effectively what they're inadvertently saying in season 4 is PTSD. He is the path to evil. No, dipshit's not picking it. No. Show. Dumbass is not picking up their phone. That is what leads to evil. Now, granted, I'm going to be paying more attention to the sub, but yeah, I have a funny feeling that it's going to be still flimsy, in my opinion, even in the sub. We'll see when we get there. We're nowhere near there. I mean, for God's sakes, we're only on episode 12, for fuck's sakes. Because I decided to cover 11 and 12 together. So then Mai gets nabbed. We'll have to deal with that in 2 weeks. And then Bakura shows up. Oh, also, Tristan and Junichi and Honda are perverts. Now, I say that very specifically because in the Japanese version, yeah, Yugi is like holding them back because when Anzu freaks out, they're like, "Hey, can we come in?" And it's like, what? And then Mai comes out of nowhere and just like punches them out, and it's like, guys, what the fuck? Like, come on, have a little fucking tact. God, it reminds me of that one part of Inuyasha. Where Inuyasha and Moroku got smacked. In their defense, they literally were just talking. They heard specifically Sango freaking shout out, and then they're like, "Hey, we heard yelling, everything okay?" And then they get slapped. Now, okay, moment of passion that never gets apologized for, or as far as I remember, but still a moment of passion. Okay, we'll leave it be. I'm a little more willing to forgive moments of passion. Unless it's just meant to be stupid comedy. You can do it right. Trails of Cold Steel it did that right. Smack! I'm gonna go apologize. A couple of weeks later, I'm gonna apologize. Cold Steel 3 would also do that too, by the way. Good games. I recommend the Cold Steel series, incidentally. So then Bakura. So then Mai leaves, gets nabbed, and then I'm all over the place. I apologize. I'm basically just trying to blast through this because I don't have a lot to talk about. Of course, next week, well, I've already started to prep for next week, but I'll get into that in a moment. Because now we got to talk about Bakura. So Bakura shows up and reveals that, yeah, no, Taya and Anzu were not hallucinating. And so Bakura just kind of stowed away on the boat. So then they start talking about their favorite cards and putting their heart into the game. Gee, it's almost as if that was the trend that they were going for with this original series. Anyways. So they talk about their favorite cards. So Joey is Flame Swordsman. Okay, cool. Tristan is Cyber Commander, which will lead to kind of some dumb jokes in Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridged. I mean, if you find them funny, it's like, eh. I mean, because comedy is subjective after all. I'm not trying to say the abridged series is unfunny, because that's totally not fucking true. I mean, all I need to say to that is, Yugi, you little, you son of a beep, 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 I'm going to tear off your beep and shove them right down your beep, beep, and then beep, 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 beep. So then you'll have to beep sideways. Beep. What? He censors all of the swearing that Yami does in that scene. Give me a break. But you get my point. Just look up Yami swearing at Yugi, and of course Yugi swearing at Yami because, well, let's just say that, yeah, the embarrassment gets flipped around on Yugi, and so the swearing at the other gets flipped around. Anyways. So Taya's Magician of Faith, which is a damn good card. We'll talk about her next time though, because she'll be the reason why she's a decent card, she's a pretty good old card, is more relevant next time. And of course, Bakura's is a ban card, specifically Change of Heart, because you could take control of one of your enemy's monsters and use it for whatever you want. And of course, Yugi is Dark Magician because, duh. So then, and Yami Bakura wants to, Bakura wants to show them something cool, and so the Millennium Ring shows up. In the Japanese version, there's no presentation. It's just, we're about to get started. heard it, and then the Millennium Ring. He shows up. So then Yamabukuro makes his move and his first actual appearance, which technically happened when he smiled a little bit before his trick. And he knocks out the entire party. It's only because Atem kind of pokes his head out for the first time. Yeah, since Blue Eyes White Dragon's counterattack. Heck, Yami Yugi has been kind of Atem has just been kind of chilling in the puzzle this entire time, for this entire two-parter right up till here. And that's gonna change. That has changed now at the end of the episode. Now, my last two notes are about a question that I pose. Specifically, did Yami Bakura recognize that was a Tem? Now, I say that very specifically because did he recognize him as the other Yugi as the subposits, or is he just calling him the other Yugi because as a excuse me, kind of as an reverse insult thing? Take something that the person takes pride in and turn it into an insult. Kind of like Deku in My Hero Academia took an insult, Deku, and turned it into a compliment. That's it. That's literally all I have for spoilers. Next week is the Evil Spirit of the Ring. Which means we gotta talk, because I screwed up and didn't talk about them at the beginning of this entire video series. Next week is where we're going to be talking about Kazuki Takahashi, Season 0, Hero, and deciding whether or not I believe Season 0 can actually safely be canon with the rest of the series. Also, in case you think I'm going to forget, I jotted it down just in case I get interrupted and I don't get the chance to get through these. But I should have enough time, even if my roommates do come back home from work today. Regardless, I am going to go ahead and chop this off. I don't prefer either of these episodes. Oh, wow, I've been talking for a decent chunk of time. Jesus. Anyways, I don't prefer either of these episodes in either language. The thing is, I will be honest with you, I don't think either of these episodes are great. I mean, like I said, you could basically just skip to this episode and it would be fine. You'd be fine with just the recap. But it really does bug me. It really does kind of bug me that this episode was so mediocre. It kind of reminds me of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, in a bad way. Hear me out. Do you remember Star Wars The Phantom Menace, Episode 1? You remember how Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker met? It was a throwaway line. They met in a throwaway line. And with how much Obi-Wan talked up Anakin in the frickin' original trilogy, that is just... What? Ugh. But... And that's what I feel like here. Red Eye shows up for the first time. And it's completely unceremonious. The Season 0 movie actually had more weight to its appearance than this. It shows up, it gets Time Wizard, the end. I got nothing. I have absolutely fucking nothing. But now, for real, I'm going to go ahead and chop off because as much as okay, I will admit the main reason why I say that is I say that the first part can be skipped is Red Eyes doesn't even show up until the end, and that's in a silhouette. Meanwhile, the second part has so many good things to so much meat to freaking chew on. Red Eyes showing up, us seeing the other side of setting up for future episodes, the favorite cards thing, and Yami Bakura showing up, and then setting up the next episode, which is actually going to be an entertaining romp because, yeah, I've actually got to pay close attention to the next episode. These two episodes, I practically slept walk through. Not literally, but I wasn't exactly worried about missing dialoguing here in the Japanese version. And, and obviously because I speak English, because duh, I obviously don't have to worry about that at all in the frickin' dub, but you get my point. Like I said, though, next week, we're going to be talking about Season 0, Takahashi himself, and we're going to be determining once and for all in the sub, because duh, in the sub, whether or not Season 0 can at all be canon. And it all boils down to one very significant, very simple, but very significant question. Did Janochi, Honda, and Anzu know about a TEM in any capacity before this in the Gallop continuity? That's the question we have to answer next time. Till then, Blue Wolf Alex of the Lore Walkers signing out. Have a good one. Duel stand by.